but good teams knock those guys out. You know, you come out the first 5 minutes of the second half, you go from 28 to 38. You know, and then the game is really over. And I would assume that, you know, up by 28 at halftime or down by 28, so it's, you know, in the locker room they're thinking like maybe we can't win, but you know we're going to try to win the second half. And that's at least that's what, you know, my attitude would be. And they beat us by 11 in the second half. And give them the credit. They didn't quit. They kept on fighting, and we lost some intensity.
Coach, you said you were going to try and mix things up tonight, get some different lineups in there, mix and match guys. It seemed like when the first team guys were out there, that's kind of when you got that production and went up, and things seemed to be going really well when that first team was out there. Maybe not so much when some of the backup guys were out there in the end of the second half.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Did you feel like you got what you wanted out of the first team guys?
Yeah, I thought in the first half, I thought all of our guys played good. You know, it's you know, guys came in, Matthew came in, and you know, Brett and Jake. I thought they did what they needed to do, and I think the second half, I think the whole team lost intensity. It wasn't like you know, when Olga was out there or Andrew was out there, we played better. I thought the second half we just didn't play well. You know, no matter who was out there, just because of, you know, I just thought that we lost that intensity, that competitiveness, and we can't do that. We got to continue to, you know, give 100%. And I think, you know, the first half, you know, if you talk about the starting five, I thought they played extremely well. You know, but we're going to need more than the starting five.
Mm-hmm. So you're talking about some of those guys in the second half. They were on the court at the same time together. When maybe some of that slippage started to take place, did you just feel like you are going to want more out of your second team?
We really don't have a second team per se.
The guys who came off.
Yeah, but to go back again, I thought we started the first group in the second half, and it went from 28 to 20. You know, so it wasn't like this quote second group or however you want to define it. Were the team that was in there when we went from 28 to 20. I thought that overall none of us, you know, the entire team didn't play well in the second half. Mm-hmm. You know, and I thought in the first half, I thought those guys when they went in there did what they needed to do. And I think it was just a lack of team intensity in the second half.
Seemed like in the first half there was more of closeness. These guys, a lot of these guys, as we talked about, have been 8 out of the 10 guys have been there before. Mm-hmm. It seemed like in the first half there was more closeness, they were connecting a little more. Everything seemed a little bit smoother between them. Did you get a feel for that at all?
What do you mean smoother?
Just
in terms of
that
playing,
they were more comfortable with each other in the first half there because it was a lot of guys who played together last year. Did you get a sense of that?
No, I thought even when the young guys went in there, you know, Jake and Brett, it was, in the first half, I thought everybody played well. You know, I don't think it was you know, being uncomfortable playing with guys in the second half. I think it was just a product of a lack of intensity.
Coach, you guys had 5 guys hit a three-pointer tonight. Obviously losing Chris last year, over 100 threes. Mm-hmm. Is it going to have to be not only with the three-pointers, but you know, with the production from the guards, kind of just the team effort, just more?
Yeah, collectively, we're not going to have one guy hit 107. Maybe Andrew will. You know, at least he wants to try. But it's going to be a collection, you know, and I've said it a number of times now. It's, you know, Ogo made 30 last year. He needs to make 50. And Demetrius made 4 last year. He needs to make 24. You know, we need to, you know, Michael's got to shoot better. You know, Matthew Wright's got to shoot better. Nicholson, maybe he can shoot a couple. I don't know if he hit any today. But, I just think it's going to be more of a team effort. You know, we're not going to have one guy, you know, and you know, Chris was a big piece for us last year, and, you know, guys have to step up, but we got to do it collectively.
Question for Andrew. You obviously hit about 3 or 4 really long two-pointers, like on the edge of being a three-pointer, as Coach joked about. But how much of that is part of developing your game and trying to step out away from the basket and be more versatile? Is that something you've really focused on this summer, coming into this year, to step out?
In the off-season, I was working on that, you know, because I noticed that every time I'm in the post, I always get doubled. So I want to extend my game, make me a lot more harder to guard.
Coach, just building off Andrew's comment about him stepping out, as you said, making some longer jump shots, does that open up the rest of the lane for guys like DeQuan in the middle, if he can hit a 17-foot jumper?
Yeah, and it's harder for the 5-man to go out. You know, we got to take advantage of Andrew's skills, and we need him inside. But at times he can step out and take that 5-man away from the basket, and the 5-man's, it's just like most 5-men can't defend out on the on the floor, and that's something that when we do a high-low stuff, something that's going to be a big part of our offense because he can shoot it.
Coach Ogo hit 3 of those threes that Ian was talking about, 13 points, 5 assists, 2 steals. Looked pretty comfortable out there. Can you kind of talk about what he was able to do tonight?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ogo was, he came in last year and just like junior college players, almost like a freshman trying to learn the system. And as this year went along, he got much more comfortable, played much better. And then, his experience playing overseas this summer, he came back, with so much more confidence. And he's much more sure of himself, which is just a natural thing, knowing, the offense and getting comfortable with his surroundings. But yeah, if Ogo can have 13 points, 5 assists, and 2 steals a game, that would be terrific.
Ogo, as Coach said it, you looked more sure of yourself out there, just coming off of what you were able to do at the end of last season and then playing over the summer. Is that how you kind of feel out there right now, just more confident, more sure of yourself?
Yeah, and also with the guys, playing with them and running the offense and just going with the flow of the offense, it makes things that much easier when we play together. So yeah.
Coach, just aside from that kind of letdown in the second half there, statistically, some guys had some numbers tonight. What's the one thing that you would want to work on most after this game?
Well, the first half I thought we played very well defensively. I think the second half we slipped, and that's an area that we have to improve on. Half-court defense, rebounding, and I thought part of our half-court defense, I thought we fouled too much. Fouling those guys 23 times isn't a positive. We're at times we get undisciplined, and that's the area. I think from an offensive standpoint, we're going to have the ability to score points. I think not all the time, but I think if there's one part of our game that I think hopefully will be a constant will be our offense. We got to get our defense to be the constant, and stop fouling and play like we did the first half, and keep guys in front of us, contest shots, and keep them to one shot. In the second half, we just lost that intensity, and we were fouling. It wasn't good in the second half, from an intensity standpoint. And defense is intensity. If you're standing around, you're going to get beat. And we lost that in the second half, and that's something that we got to continue to work on.
Any more questions?
Are you pleased with the full court press, and can we expect to see that a lot?
Yeah, it's not a full court press. It's the 3/4 court. It's like just a pain in the butt type of press where you try to take time off the clock so they're not attacking us. With 35 seconds. So it takes them 8 or 9 seconds to get over, and now they only have 20 seconds to attack us. And that's part of it. And I thought the first half was good. The second half, just like the intensity. Keep on talking about. You can't press if you don't have that intensity and that work ethic, and that's what happened in the second half. They broke it a little, some, and it hurt us. So it's at times I was pleased with it. First half I was really pleased. Second half, I wasn't pleased with very much. But that's something that we'll continue to work on, and hopefully we can get better at.